right, we back. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas Sports TV. We in the building. And Jalen Ramsey implied on Twitter that if Dwayne Haskins wasn't black, that he would have, been drafted early and probably would have went to the New York Giants. I linked that tweet in the description. He says that if Dwayne Haskins was, never mind, Jags on the clock. Jags picked immediately after the New York Giants took Daniel Jones, the quarterback from New York, from Duke. But appreciate everybody for checking in. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video, man. But it's some truth to that. Some real truth to that. And Dwayne Haskins ended up sliding to 15. There were talks about him only being a 1-year starter at Ohio State, or how he was thinking and ducking throws off, and his speedy receivers was making him look better than what he is. But I firsthand seen this kid a couple years ago in the big game between Michigan and Ohio State come out the deep freezer and just tear us up. I like his skill level. Seen him break down films. He know how to read coverages and stuff of that nature. And he made the throws downfield. It ain't easy being accurate to speedy or small or big receivers. That take a skill set. For whatever reason, he failed. But I've seen this before. They tried to put Jake Locker over Cam Newton. They were saying that Nick Foles was the best quarterback in his draft class, which I can't remember. The guys who went in that draft class with him. But, they've been doing that to black quarterbacks for the whole time, trying to knock them off their pivot and do that. And with Kyler Murray, they did the same thing with him, leaking that he don't like to study and trying to get people to deter away from him, mainly the Arizona Cardinals, but it didn't work because I guess he had some type of relationship with Cliff Kingsbury. They both share the same agent. But I think Jalen Ramsey is telling the truth, man, and NFL players need to come out more and speak their mind and tell their truth. They so scared to get fined. They so scared to show personality because you can be out the league tomorrow. They can sabotage your drug test or just say you can't play no more. Or when your play start falling off, you can end up like Chad Johnson, aka Chad Ochocinco or Terrell Owens. But somebody got to say it. Somebody got to be the voice of the NFL players, which they don't have a voice. You know what I'm saying? With DeMaurice Smith being the president, it's 100% terrible. But like I said before, it's truth to it. I've seen it time and time again where they put a ton of Caucasian quarterbacks over black quarterbacks to try to tell you why Cam shouldn't go number one or why Kyler shouldn't go number one. At the end of the day, I can't speak on what Daniel Jones brings to the table, but I can speak on Duke doesn't produce that high of prospects, or I don't remember the last Duke quarterback that even, came into the NFL and how he did. So that's how rare it is. And like I said before, Jalen Ramsey is correct. He probably would have been higher if he had the complexion for the selection. But you know what? God works in mysterious ways, Dwayne Haskins. He put you in a position that you need to be in. Now, if Daniel Jones thrives in New York, he looked like a man, and, he don't have the mobility of a man, and he has better mobility. But, I'm not looking to see Daniel Jones fail for the Giants. I'm looking for him to succeed. I'm looking for Haskins to succeed and see what happens. But at the same time, if Haskins wasn't black, what they say, black quarterbacks are always mobile. We always need them to run, and they always run before they throw. And now you got a pocket passing quarterback whose lack of athletic ability, he plays the game from the pocket how they've been asking the game to be played. And all of a sudden he don't want to get drafted. Mobility is a problem. Foot speed is a problem. All that's a problem though, but it wasn't a problem for, Tom Brady coming into the league or Joe Montana or some of the classic dropback quarterbacks. It wasn't a problem for them. But when it comes to a black quarterback, it's a win-win. All he do is run. If you don't run, you play for the pocket, you slow, or he the next Byron Leftwich. Can't win for losing. Dwayne Haskins is going to have to change that narrative. But like I said before about Jalen Ramsey, man, big ups to him because he telling the truth, man. And it's something about them reluctant to have a black quarterback be the face of their franchise. And New York is a huge market. And I don't think they would want a black quarterback for the face of their franchise. They're going to run with Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. And my soul on neither one of them. Don't know much about Jones. I didn't like what I seen from Darnold on USC. But they're not going to let a black man be the face of that quarterback. The quarterback be the face of that market. And that's what it just simply boils down to. And Haskins got to understand that, man. Daniel Jones got the look. He looked like Eli and Peyton, their Archie long-lost son. And that's what they going to sell. It ain't just about drafting for the best player available. It's also about getting players that's going to have the cachet and drive the big bucks in its box office. That's the part of the draft nobody talk about. A lot of these guys want the big bucks. All these guys want the big bucks. How you get a big bucks? You get a marketable, clean young guy like Dwayne, what's his name, Daniel Jones. You do it that way. They didn't believe in Dwayne Haskins. Don't know how his interviews went. I know Greedy Williams' interviews went pretty bad. Sound like he was, he didn't know X's and O's and all that other stuff. So that's one of the reasons he dropped. But like I said, man, I was surprised that he didn't go inside the top 10. But then again, I'm not surprised because I remember how they tried to bump Cam Newton now and say, oh, Jake Locker was better. And now Jake Locker not around. There's plenty of other instances just like this, man. And for Dwayne Haskins, you got to go out there and work hard and prove him wrong. But it's definitely a correlation to make of him being black and not being white when it comes to the draft. So, they had the same questions about Daniel Jones for the most part. He ain't played nobody in Duke, man. He didn't have no talent. For Dwayne Haskins, he had a ton of talent at Ohio State, but he made it work. He was a more productive passer with J.D. Barrett, Braxton Miller. He's a pocket passer, real accurate. Drop him on a dime, throw it deep, throw it short. Is it his fault that his receivers can take off and they got track speed and you just dump it off and they go 80 yards? They can nitpick all day, but if every nitpick, damn near it's a throw down field that he done made. But it's just about trying to knock him off and railroad him out the league already, man. But he can't get discouraged. You got to stay hungry and you got to stay on point, man. So pretty much, man, it is what it is. It don't need to be talked about by you. You don't need to put the bullseye on your black and say, oh, man, the Giants didn't want a black man to be the first face of their franchise and the face of their city. No, you just killing with kindness. You killing with that rocket arm you got. You killing with success. You killing with winning. And Skip Bayless has been saying that Dwayne Haskins ain't shit in his opinion. And I tell you for a fact, I'm not saying this guy gonna be the next, Culpepper when he was real good, next Randall Cunningham, or the next Peyton Manning, Eli, or Cam Newton. I'm not promising that at all, but I do know that the kid can play, that the kid can read coverages, and we'll see what he does with the controversy that he faces in the NFL. But NFL need to speak up more. There need to be more Jalen Ramseys. There's a lot of, hush, hush, hush Indians in the kitchen. Nobody want to take charge and be a chief. Nobody want to take charge. Usually you got a whole bunch of chiefs in the kitchen, and don't nobody want to take a step or two or three back and be an Indian. You know what I'm saying? So Ramsey need to be the voice of the NFL. Other players need to join in on them to point out injustice, point out why there are more minority, black, Hispanic coaches in the NFL. Why is there more black general manager in the NFL? If we played the game, we damn sure probably can identify talent too. Not all of us, but yeah, the bear need to be poked, and that's just the absolute truth of the situation, man. But what can Haskins do? What can Haskins do? Go on a rant? It ain't gonna help you now. It's gonna make you look like you stupid. When you play the Giants and Daniel Jones becomes a quarterback, you finally become a quarterback of the Washington Redskins. Saying that those happens, just go out there and cut him up with a sharp knife like he buttered. So, it is inconsistency. I've seen black quarterbacks tore down multiple times over the years. Why did DeAndre Hopkins fall down in Houston? Why did Prescott fall to the third round? You got to ask yourself questions. Why did Patrick Mahomes fall and the Kansas City moves up and got him? Why did they take Trubisky over all of them? That's a big mistake. Imagine if Chicago had Patrick Mahomes at center. We would be talking about Super Bowl. They were in the Super Bowl last year. So they got a lot to do, perfect fit and the place and stuff and drafting the right way. So we'll see. The Redskins feel like they got for the next 10 years, 10, 12, 15 years. Hopefully it's true. Jalen Ramsey just pointing out something that we already knew, that Dwayne Haskins was sliding and falling because he was a brother. That's what you didn't hear too much bad things come out at combine or from scouting the offseason about the kid. No problems at Michigan. Seemed like he come from a good background household. So it is what it is, man. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think I just said Michigan. I'm in Ohio State. Excuse me. You can reach out to the email. All my information in the description. And I appreciate the love and support everybody giving us, man. Keep sharing the videos. It's the best way you can help out. Let me know what you guys think. I'll link the tweet in the description so you can see it for yourself. Goodfellas Sports TV, we go.